I came to office determined not only to deliver immediate economic relief for the American people, but to transform the way our economy works over the long term. To write a new economic playbook. Grow the economy from the middle out and the bottom up, not just the top down. Put workers first. Support unions to make sure workers have a bargaining clout they need to get a fair price to grow that pie. And after all, it's the productivity, they're the productivity baked into that pie, in my view. Leave no one behind. Foster fair competition. Invest in all of America and in all Americans. When we do things for the poor and they have a ladder up, the middle class does very well and the wealthy continue to do very well. We all do well, and we are doing well. Working families and the middle class are the center of the strong, equitable, and sustainable recovery. Here are the keys from the new playbook, in my view. Within the first 2 months in office, I signed the American Rescue Plan, one of the most significant economic recovery packages in our history. Not a single person on the other team, Republicans, voted for it. It delivered shots in the arm for vaccines to vaccinate the nation in one of the most sophisticated logistical operations in American history. I found it incredibly difficult to plan that. Without protecting our nation from COVID, our economic recovery would never have taken off. It also delivered immediate economic relief for those who needed it the most. An individual earning less than $75,000 a year received a $1,400 check. So a family of 5 earning less than $150,000 a year could receive as much as $7,000. And by the way, middle-class families like the one I grew up in, many of you grew up in, that is a game changer. That saved people's sense of being. It also prevented a wave of evictions, bankruptcies, and delinquencies and defaults that the previous crises weakened the recovery and left working families permanently further behind. I was determined to avoid what Secretary Yellen called the economic scarring that hurt so many Americans and left them behind in the past. We delivered essential funding to states and local governments to keep essential services moving, to keep teachers and first responders on the job, to keep small businesses open, and to build more housing. We also expanded the child tax credit to cut child poverty in half. With the Butch-Lewis Act, we took the most significant action in 50 years to protect the pensions of millions of union workers and retirees. Before we acted, workers faced cuts to their pensions. Now we're restoring the full amount of their pensions, including for workers who previously saw cuts. And there's so much more. But we also know the pandemic led to a surge in inflation all across America and the world, and the country, I should say. And the economy shut down and then opened back up in an unprecedented manner. Shipping had stalled. Factories shut down. Inflation grew worse after Putin invaded Ukraine, which sent food prices skyrocketing, energy prices soaring around the world. So we immediately brought together business and labor to fix the problem of broken supply chains and unclog our ports, trucking networks, and shipping lines. Remember those massive cargo ships stuck outside the port of Los Angeles, delaying deliveries and driving up prices during the holiday season? Remember that? We remember the shortage of baby formula and the crisis that caused? Well, we got supply chains back to normal. When we did that, inflation began to ease. Not solve, but ease.